Hello and welcome to this session of Wacom Career Days. This is Jeroen and I'm going to guide you through this session today. Today we will be talking about personal career journeys, including deliberate choices and chances, as well as the importance of communities and personal connections. Please note that this session is recorded, but please use the chat for your questions and we will make sure that we answer them afterwards on our social media channels. The session is going to last for about 40 minutes. And yeah, enjoy this session with us because I'm absolutely pleased and thrilled and stoked to introduce you to our two panelists today. Please meet André Lewis, founder and CEO of THU, which means Trojan Horse Was a Unicorn, a creative community with several online and offline events for digital artists, and Nobutaka Ide, CEO and president of Wacom. Nobu, maybe let's start with the obvious question in the room. How do I become CEO of Wacom? Is there something like a Hogwarts school for future CEOs? And where do I apply?
Jerome, thank you. Thank you. Good start with our crazy questions. So, yeah, hello, everybody. My name is Nobu. I'm doing our CEO of Wacom, and I really appreciate this opportunity to talk about our, career path for everybody. So, well, Jerome, honestly, it's really tough questions, and I think I took some a bit unique path. I didn't, take any like MBA course, and I didn't plan to kind of looking for some promotions. But if you ask that questions, I just would say, I'm luckily sitting here, appreciating the greatest team members, partners, customers, community, and my family. Just deep appreciation. That's it. And as a matter of fact, Jerome, Andre, maybe I share with you this story. 9 years ago, I got into the Wacom. I got a opportunity to have some interview with Wacom, and I didn't know the Wacom at that time. I checked up the web page and learned the story, and I was so fascinated the spirit of Wacom. I remember it's kind of at that time 9 years ago, Wacom web page is just showing some blocks, building of blocks, just a image of a building of blocks, and their key question: how do you feel when you see these blocks? So, and when you scroll, there's the description. There's no answers, and you feel that. That's it. And Wacom is supporting to express what you feel. And 100 people see these blocks. 100 people are feeling, and we are going to support the 100 kinds of the feeling to express. I was shocked when I saw that. Wow, this is really creative and trying to touch with the core of human beings and touch of the core of creativity. So I was fascinated. I wrote up the essay and I applied, and I was rejected. I failed. I even proceeded the interview with Wacom. At that time, I was living in Beijing, China. I was doing other jobs, and I bought a ticket and I'm ready. But email telling me, "Hey, Mr. Ide, sorry, you were rejected." Really? But I honestly couldn't forget about Wacom. There in my mind, the building blocks photo and the key message was really sticking to my heart. And I wrote up some long letters, and hey, Wacom. So I know I was rejected. I know I was not deserved, but I really so interested in your core spirit, and I think I can do something together with you. So any kind of any job, the inputs, the sales numbers, or some cleaning up, whatever. Please give me the chance. I wrote up the long letters and I just handed to the agent and they delivered to Wacom. and I got some open positions. It's literally input the monthly sales number in the systems. So the agent told me, "Hey, you got some open position for that. Are you interested in it?" Of course. And I bought a ticket and fly over to Tokyo, and got a summer interview, and yes, let me input any revenue number, whatever. But I have a dream. Kind of, I started to talk about that, and Wacom open up another opportunity. Hey, you are something interesting guy, so why don't you join another positions? And I joined some marketing job of the technology components business unit. At that time, nothing to do with the creativities, selling our components to the Samsung, Lenovo things, and that was my starting time. And since that time, 9 years ago, nothing changed. Nothing changed. Still, I can clearly remember the kind of excitement when I saw their website of the Wacom, building blocks and key questions, open questions to me. What do you feel? And Wacom's mission is to support hundreds, kinds of the feeling, to express that. That, passions or excitement still living in my heart, and that really, drive me here. And thanks to the greatest team members, partners, André, communities, family support, I'm here. Sorry for a long story, but this is really
it's wild. It's wild.
It shows the balance between dedication and lucky chances and persistence, right? So would you agree there was never a plan, or?
It's never, I never planned. And since that day zero, I've never, ever thought I'm going to be the CEO, I'm going to be the president, but I just really dedicated myself to the jobs, and also the more and more I worked, the more and more kind of profound things I started to touch, and human, art, technologies, all these things are getting so close to me, and deep engagement with these themes, and I just did 120%, So, and really, it's not coming from me. It's team members, it's customers, it's users, it's communities, partners. Right. So yeah, and Jerome, my answers, I don't know how I'm here. It's just
okay.
I just happen to be here. Yeah.
Not knowing, but still making sense. I like that. Dedication and not really knowing what you are up to is probably something that you can also relate to, André, because you basically build communities as a job. Tell us a little bit about THU and what you're up to.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for being here. It's and thank you for recording the session. It's my fault because I had an agenda issue. So thank you for accommodating this problem that I brought to myself. Like Noble, I never wanted to build it. Well, I never aimed to build a community in my case. Like my goal is, and I'm still now today understanding what is building a community. It's really wild. I just wrote this morning, like we are changing a lot of stuff at THU, and I just wrote an email to part of my team to explain that how we should focus to the next 10 years. And it's wild how everything changed in the last 6 months, let's say this. And the starting point, like I mentioned before, was to help my country, and was to actually get jobs to my production company in 2013. And I'm a Portuguese guy. Nobody cares about Portugal. Nobody knows about Portugal. Even to talk with Wacom, I had to go to Spain because there was no Wacom in Portugal. And every time I send emails in 2012 and 2013, like the name Portugal in the email, they deleted immediately because there was nothing in Portugal. So basically it was like, okay, I'm doomed. I don't want to leave my country and I want to help Portugal, and what should I do? And I ended up to do an event that I want to do an event for people like me. Introverts, they know VIPs, more about connections and not just a speaker on stage. And well, the things that I related at least, and I ended up being here after 10 years is a miracle, but it is what it is. But I was hearing Nobu saying about how he applied to be Wacom and was rejected, and I related because I'm never apply in that case for a job in a way, but I'm always applying for support and like to actually have some help. And I don't know, in the last 10 years, I received like thousands and thousands and thousands of rejections. Every year is like that, from speakers, from partners, from companies. No time, no money, I don't care, I never reply, like this kind of stuff. And you're like, so, and you are still here, we are still here. So that's the thing. But building a community was a coincidence at the end of the day. And it's still
facing rejection, is that maybe something like super skill, superpower that you have to make sense of it all and to keep on going? Or how do you deal with that? I mean, it's
really hard. It's the hard part of it's the hard part. It's even we talk about of artists who are looking for jobs, or creators, or anyone in the world that are looking for jobs, and being rejected. It's hard. It's so you get scared. You don't go to. You start not applying, and your mental health goes. My mental health went several times down, and every time I started my day, I have a rejection from a speaker, from a partner, from a company, and that like it's really hard. I'm not saying it's a super skill. It's all about if you believe or not what you are doing. Even if several times a year I get doubt about myself, and it's really, should I continue to do this madness? Why I'm doing this? If only one are saying, but at the end of the day, that one person is always saving us. If it's your mom, your dad, your one company like Wacom is always saving me in a way, or a tribe member. Like if one person believes in you, I normally stuck to that one person, and I continue to go and fighting for the mission. And it's like the kind of stuff that's you go down for sure. I went to a burnout. I'm sure everyone here related with this. But you need to go. It's like, it's not a super skill. It's just, if you believe, if you have the love, the passion, you just need to figure out ways to continue. That's it. It's quite simple. At the end of the day, it's about being happy. How to be happy.
Yeah.
So that's the super skill you need to get it. And that's the super skill I get it, to be honest. But it's fucked up. It's fucked up. That's okay.
Talking about the importance of other people, if you reflect on the people that were part of your career journey, I can imagine that you get quite a lot of feedback and comments from other people around you. What is the best and the worst career advice that you got on this journey?
Best and worst?
No, let's start from you. What is the worst advice that someone gave to you?
Okay. Well, the best and worst, right, Jerome? The worst. Let me start with the worst. When I'm, when I was nominated, I don't want to. This is no offense, right? That's just sharing the examples.
Open book.
I'm not going to name anybody, but yeah, when I got a like an opportunity to be nominated as CEO of Wacom, and that time I got some advice couple of advice. Hey, Nobu, so you are not MBA holder, so you have not got any educations for the management, of financial things. So you should take our MBA course. This is, I wouldn't say it's worse, but I thought it's not fitting. It's not fitting to me. It's not fitting to my missions. It's not fitting to my passions. It's not fitting to my commitment. So I really appreciate being said that, because I reconfirm. So that is not my way. So that advice really kind of pictualize, oh, this is my own way. So that is our worst, but it's really meaningful advice.
Yeah.
And so best one is I would say there's some comment from my daughter. When I was living in China and changing a job, and my daughter school tuitions I have to do, and I when you change the whole environment, I couldn't commit with her. I can support you, all that, and I shared that with my daughter Midori, and she just told me, hey, oh, good, it's good choice. I'm proud of you. So you're over 40, but you're trying to be radical. I'm proud of you. She told me that, even I told her I couldn't continue your tuitions maybe, but really, really encouraging, and I'm so it's echoing the Andres, point. Even single persons is really supporting you or understanding you, resonating you. Okay, we can go. So it's if I recall, the best comment, advice, or feedback from my daughter. Hey, you're brave enough. Go ahead. I'm proud of you. Yeah.
Probably most important. Yeah. Nice.
André, your turn.
No, because hearing you, I was like thinking about what you're saying, and from my case, I will go for the time of THU, doing THU, because that's what I related. There was several bad, actually, comments or like suggestions and advice, and that go down, make you like going down, let's say this. My first actually is from one of my good friends. At the end of the day, was the one that actually inspired me to be here or opened the doors to be here. That is a good friend called Serge Biraud. He's a French illustrator. In 2012, he's the only one that accepted to go to Portugal to my school, and he was the only one that actually started opening doors in international level of speakers, artists to be part of THU. But I remember we were dinner in Lisbon, and I was explaining to him my vision to do like Trojan Horse was unique, and they said, no, don't do that. It's going to be a disaster. No one's, you will fail. And I was explaining this conversation. I was explaining to him that I was coming back from a bankruptcy, and I was like, and he just said this, and I said, that time I was like, okay, now I'm the big boss in the illustration world, saying, don't do that. Nobody cares. The funny story was 2 years later, you wrote in a big blog saying I was wrong, and I said this to André, and I'm here to say it, and was. But at the time was like, he didn't know, but was a punch in my stomach. In terms of the good advices, I have to go to Shuzo Shiota. Shiota-san, that is, it's always a reminder that if you are lost about THU, just focus in the mantras, in the values. And the values is the only thing you need to always protect it all the time. And so even when you start growing, and we all know, like career-wise and companies-wise, we grow, we start to have new influences. When we fail, we start to change, and a lot of organizations stop. They get lost in the process, and ourselves as persons, we got lost in the process. And Shuzo was like 3 years ago before COVID in Japan, like focusing the mantras in the values. So it's something that we, to be honest and fair, I understand why you were saying this, because we are getting lost in track. Because you are fighting for survival, you are fighting for attention, and at some point you say, why people wants to care about mantras? People wants to see numbers, they want to see profile, they want to see big names, and so that was like an incredible advice that now is making us stronger, in my opinion. And was Shuzo and such, just saying like two, but bad advices. I have to tell you that I've been receiving. I have a list of all the bad advices, in my opinion, like thing that was terrible, and it is what it is. We're just listening. We just need to find people that can help us to translate the advice. That's the thing, and it's hard.
Yeah,
mentors. You need to get mentors.
Yeah, I totally.
Thank you for that question. Thank you, Nobu, to my question too.
Yeah.
But how do you facilitate that at THU to make sure that these connections are established if they're so important? Tell us a little bit about the spirit and the format, maybe, for people who don't know.
Well, what we are trying to do more than ever is an organization that is focused in people. By the essence, at the last 10 years, we've been understanding like partners, companies, and the tribe itself. And even if I have the chance to meet Nobu in person last month or 2 months ago, and it was funny this is a true story. My first partner at THU was Wacom, and we have been developing a relationship based in people. So always like this, people don't understand the behind the scenes when it's, you see a brand and you see like sponsorship and you see like, and it's true at the end of the day, and a lot of times it's like and should be in that it's easy way to have a relationship, to be honest. But for THU, I always try to go around organizations, they care about people, so we can manage things for people, individuals. That's the thing. And so what I try to facilitate, and has been super hard, is like this, like relationships. People are used to go to events for show off, show off at the end of the day, or not show off, but it's like crowded and crowded and crowded. I need to be there, it's inspiring, and it's fine, because it is important to. It's important to go to places where you get a lot of information, where you just inspire yourself, and you go home and you have inspirational in a creative way. But my goal is to go in a deeper direction, that is the connections with people that can actually support you when you are up and down. And the supporting system is what we're trying to do. And with organizations that go in that direction, because the essence of life is that, connections. And if you help each other to be a better person, goes to the mission of THU, that is empowering creators around the world. And so what we try to do at THU in everything we do, and more than ever, is how to build things and how to organize things that people can make connections. People can actually have someone to ask questions when this is over, and someone can ask without being feared to ask a question, or being like not being correct, let's say this, having courage. And courage is important at the end, and respect, and also something really important. So the essence of THU goes in that direction. So all the events, all the initiatives, it's how to bring respect. Like for a career camp, for example, there's a lot of people, people that apply to things and don't show up. So how to actually control this and teach this and help them to understand this is not correct, because there were people working for them and they didn't do something, or someone will apply to something that without a good resume or a portfolio, like they don't even understand how to actually do their names correctly. This is something really common, like in 5,000, 6,000 applications, I can tell you here that 50% are completely crazy.
So just like Nobu's.
No. So that's the direction we go in. Seems simple, but at the end super complex, because people just want fast tickets. They never wanted to actually long term. They don't understand relationships are based in doing something, in giving back. It's you need to work for a relationship.
Yeah,
and
that's
and people don't do that. Like, so we are teaching everyone in the creative industries or to actually work, not be fast. People are not just, no, I only care about myself. That's the thing. And so that's where we are going. That's what we are doing, and learning how to do this in the proper way.
Yeah. So, André, I still remember like 2 months ago when I got a dinner with you, with Shuzo-san, and learned their THU spirit core directly from André. It's, it's really kind of a trust, all their things THU André is driving is some are creating some trust coming from the real experience. It can be translated to people's connections, they're inspiring each other's, all those things. It's all about trust. I've never ever seen the community or platforms are sustained and funded by the trust coming from the real experience, not coming from the profit and loss, not coming from the return for the investment for the future, but it's really coming from the real experience-based trust. So that is really creating some, I would say, almost like a sacred space for the artists and creators, and they're giving the courage and are creating some very positive circulations. So I know in the end, it's also connecting with some capitalism, there you have to live, but starting point and a baseline is not capitalism. It's a trust. Trust, coming from their real experience, people's connections, people's engagement, which André is really trying to drive. So that's I learned 2 months ago. This is a community. This is, the Wacom also, we're trying to do some create some community, like a connected ink village. I wouldn't say it's the same goal, but I really respect THU's moving ahead, and I learned so much, and it's epoch making day, honestly, for 2 months ago, the dinner in sushi house.
Likewise. Like, for the audience here in this, seems like but we are the same people, like you guys. We are trying to do something and learning from each other. And from our case, like I spent 9 years to meet Nobu. I didn't know 9 years ago he was cleaning toilets at Wacom. I didn't know that. But it's like we are on the same path, and like everyone that is listening this, I believe that is like trying to go to the next level in our career, trying to understand what we can do better or more, depending what level we are. But from my case and Wacom case, what we have been realizing, and that's something that we try to do at THU also, is like connecting the dots. So if you go to a main event and you are a 2D artist, or connecting ink, you are a 2D artist, and you need to figure out how to improve as a 2D artist. And for organizations like THU and Wacom is like, we are here at the end of the day. Yes, we all need to survive and make money, but and THU has the essence that, for my case, I want to help creators to actually develop their products, and THU help them to bring the projects to the main market and making money from that side. And in terms of the community, we also want to teach the capitalism, that they need to understand that.
Yes.
That's why they are afraid about talking with money. They are afraid, like I'm always giving this example that my wife, like she went to, when we start dating, she told me, oh, I just booked an event in Amsterdam, but this this should be a terrible event. Or why is going to be a terrible event? Because it's so cheap. And how much do you pay for a 2 days event? 1,200 euros. And like, I THU I'm doing for 5 days, 400 euros or 500 euros, and I have like a massive complaint. This is the most expensive event in the industry. And so even the capitalism, we are trying to explain that the behind the scenes that you need to make the math. And for Wacom, it's funny to understand like how you guys care so much and give so much that people don't understand. And also this is something we need to bring back to the community itself, to understand the behind the scenes and saying, guys, we can do this without doing this, and we can be more profitable. We can do this and that. Because there's examples from our organization that making a lot of money don't care about community. But the essence that we do, it's about people, and the mission is about when I die, I want to make sure that the world is better, or try to make the world better. When I was born, that's the mission that we have in common, and it was pretty fantastic to see that we are on the same boat.
Totally agree. Yeah.
I speak too much, so sorry.
No worries, so good.
I love that.
Yes, I think it gives a nice insight of what is important, and what part each individual plays in society, and how we deal with others.
It is, but it's not hard. Like, if you go deep in that side, something that I want everyone that is listening and more in the future is like, it's about really like understanding your part in society, and don't be in your bubble, because at the end of the day, ask yourself about how much are you giving back to someone? How much are you giving to an organization? How much, not about what you're receiving, about giving back. And you make these questions, like the answers are normally like, they don't have the answer. A lot of people, they don't even like think about giving back. It's even seniors. That's what THU is going back in that way. Is like, okay, pay it forward. You being helped in the past for sure by mentors. How much are you helping someone? I know you are super busy. I know you are super busy, but let's go in that direction. So this giving back, it's really important, and we all need to teach that. It's complicated.
Yeah, I totally agree. And also, when I see their THU activities, and also when I try to reflect the activities in Connected Inc. So it's in the end, it is going to be connected with capitalisms, but the value itself, the starting value itself, should not be starting from that. And so what I learned from André, it's trust, and I really reflecting that. I really like to kind of translate the value of how you're going to enjoy the art, how you're going to embrace the creativity. It should not be translated by money from the beginning. It really should start with how deep you are engaging with that art, how kind of a deep level, you can feel with that artist, kind of a engagement level. Engagement level is so important, and I learned THU is creating this engagement level from the trust, from a real experience, and I'm really trying also like to do the kind of visualize, make it tangible for this engagement level with the art itself and artist or creations, and before we are going to translate that money. So let's share this kind of non-capitalism value first, which is allowed by human beings. No other animals can do this. So and we can connect with that value with capitalism. So the order is totally different. So that's what I'm so inspired by THU, and I really like to pursue this direction together with André. Yeah, it is.
Thank you.
I think that's a beautiful message. Basically, follow your heart, dedicate yourself to it, and then look for the partners and opportunities around you, get people on board and make it happen.
And with trust and support, even for everyone that is dealing now with the AI and what is bringing to the table, the monster that is starting to be in front of us, we will find solutions. We will find ways to thrive and continue to be creatives and work in this industry, because at the end of the day, it's all about like the passion we have, and figure out ways to build around the passion. And so even that, like, the community need to understand that you can have success if you understand how the market works, the rules, and how to actually have the confidence to adapt and change in ways that you can move further, like even with all the obstacles that you have. And you can only do that with the community, with people surrounding you, with different mindsets, and not about fear and being alone, and don't trust even in yourself at the end of the day. So that's the way to go. And I'm really happy that even THU and Wacom can actually start a change in the industry, that hopefully other organizations can join us to build communities first, people first, and capitalism is there, and we will start talking, and we need to start talking more about money. That is something is like the white elephant that nobody talks, but it's something that we have been talking at THU that showed the numbers, so people understand that in case of ticket sales, the ticket sales in our case cover 30% of the event costs. Like normally it should be the opposite, something like that. So should be more open about this kind of situation, so everyone can start make the math and understand how the system works. That's the thing.
I totally agree. Let's start with the trust. Let's start with our engagement, right? With our creativity. So
You're on.
Thanks very much.
We ended up to finish the time.
Yes. And it was a beautiful last comment from Nobu. It's a beautiful way to wrap this up. Thank you so much for this session. I found it very inspiring, very interesting. A lot of things that I haven't known before. So that was nice. I hope everybody out there joining us enjoyed this session as well. Thank you very, very much, Nobu. Thank you very much, André, for joining us.
Thank you, André. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. See you around.
Thank you.
Thank you.